random port numbers 6666. Okay. Additional parameters, I'm going to add in like yesterday, exit function equals to thread. Okay. Next, I'm going to do prepend migrate equals to true. Okay. And then what I did yesterday, exit func equals to thread, prepend migrate equals to true. And let's see, additional parameters thing. Okay, and smallest. Okay, we're going to create a smallest payload if possible. Okay, and next I'm going to create a PowerShell command. So PowerShell command is going to be a PSH-CMD PowerShell command, and the output file is going to be I'm going to say is shell.ps1. Okay, all good, guys? Can follow? Exit func equals to thread, prepend migrate equals to true, and then dash dash smallest. Okay, and we can just going to copy this. Okay, and let's go to our web server. And as you can see, this is our credential stealer, correct? This is our credential stealer. So we are going to create another file that looks like a normal traffic. So for this file name, I'm going to use, okay, let's take a look in a while. Okay. So I'm going to do like credential stealer is robots.txt, correct? Whenever you're developing a real-time assessment or an infrastructure, you have to keep good notes so that you can modify it or you can get any improvisation done. Okay. So now we have a shell.ps1. Okay. Before we do anything, guys, it is very important to get into this file. Remove these front parts. Okay. We don't want the registry in front. We just need a PowerShell.exe thing. All right. All good, guys? So now we have a shell.ps1. So what we're going to do now, we are going to Metasploit. Okay, for Metasploit, I'm going to rename this file as, let's say, .htaccess. It is very common in many websites to have this file as well, htaccess. Okay, if we are not using index.html, we can specify that as well. But in this case, we are going to host our clone website. So it is not recommended to have index.html. htaccess in any ways, it's going to be a valid thing, correct? Because people won't mind, because htaccess is nothing much than a restriction to a website page. Okay, but in this case, we are going to host our malware using this name, which is our Metasploit shell. Okay, so we're going to move the shell.ps1 as .htaccess. All right, all good, guys? Okay, so now we have both of these tasks done. Download our credential stealer, all good. Execute a reverse shell. Okay, this one, now what we're going to do, we have to specify our stager to download and execute our PowerShell script now. Okay, same thing here. Whatever we did here, we are going to do the same thing here. But the only difference is we are going to change the robots.txt into .htaccess here. All right, access. Oh, by the way, guys, remember just now I told you window. Okay, what was it again? Let me check. Windows hidden PowerShell. Is it show window or something? Forgot already. Window style. Okay, window style. Okay. So it's going to be window style. It's going to be hidden. Okay. Or you can put -WH. Okay, -WH. This works as well. Or hidden, because it's a shortcut for Windows style. Okay, so we can use that as well. Same thing here. Windows style hidden. Same thing. So it doesn't matter. So here we are going to download htaccess and inject into our memory to execute our reverse shell. Okay, now we have two stages done. First is download our credential stealer, execute our reverse shell, and next we are going to download our legitimate COD game installer. How do we do that? If we go to our clone site, under downloads, yesterday we have this thing, correct or not? Okay, so this is our legitimate COD installer, correct? So what we're going to do, we are going to remove yesterday's files. Okay, we are going to remove all the yesterday's files. And this is the legitimate installer, correct? codbo3.exe. Okay, so this is a legitimate installer which you run in the Windows machine. It's going to install your game. So what we're going to do, we have to download this and execute this in our process as well. So first of all, let's download this. So if you go to Hacktricks, okay, again you have to access Hacktricks. Okay, let's try here. Let's try Hacktricks. Okay, so as you can see here, we can download the files. Okay, whatever. Okay, PowerShell download file. You just Google for it because we might have another option as well. So let's see. So as you can see here, we have .NET. Okay, .NET way. Okay, we can use this one. This is the preferred way I want to go. We can use other ways as well, invoke web requests and stuff. But it really depends whether the system supports it or not. But .NET is installed by default in PowerShell. So I'm really confident that we can use this. So what we're going to do now, we are going to download our Rail installer file into the target machine. Okay. So how do we do that? Same thing here, PowerShell.exe, no profile, exec, bypass, w hidden, okay, -c. And now we are going to put this in and copy this. Okay, download file, yada, yada, yada. Copy this. And now we're going to replace this thing with our location, which is downloads. Okay, if you go to your Kali machine, it is under downloads folder, and this is our file name. Okay. Okay, so it's downloads, and our file name is cod-bo3. Is it 0 or O? Okay, o.exe. And now our part to download and see, we just leave it as it is. It's going to install it in a temporary folder. Okay, it's going to download it in a temporary folder. So after doing this, what we're going to do is we have to execute the file. Okay, to execute the file, let's say execute exe from PowerShell. Okay, so let's go to the first one. Okay, give it some time. So get child item, yada yada. Yeah, as you can see here, we have a start process, correct? So we can execute this from our PowerShell thing, correct? So let's say if we do a PowerShell.exe, same thing, knob, exec, bypass, w hidden, -c, and we are going to do a start process, okay, start process, and just specify the file name. Do not specify the location of the file. Okay, just do cod bo3.exe. exe. Done. It should work. Okay. So having this, what we can do now, let's set up our server. Okay. Let's set up our server. 168.186.160.80.80. Okay. Okay, so we already set up our server in the first pane. Okay, I forgot about it. So we have it here already. But one thing we have to set up now is our Metasploit framework. So what we're going to do now, go back to our page. Okay. All right, I close it already. It's fine, no problem. So we have it here. So as you can see, we have it here. Just set this and we are good to go. Run this. Just wait for a while. So it might take a bit longer to complete today's session because we have a lot to cover today. It's going to be interesting. So now we have our handler. Let's take a look at our BAT file. Let's try executing it to see whether it works or not. So let's execute this, and as you can see, it works. It is hidden. If we go to our Gmail, refresh, give it some time, and payload executed. Okay, payload is executed. Give it some time, and we should get a phishing prompt. And there we go. So let's say not valid cred. Okay, refresh. Okay, refresh. And it's gonna give that it's not a valid cred. Okay. So as you can see here, our web server successfully our victim has successfully downloaded our robots.txt file. Okay. So we are waiting for our handler. But as you can see, it turns out that our credential is not valid and it gives an invalid cred. Let's give a valid cred. Once the user gives a valid cred, let's see what happens here in our web server. You see here, it goes to the next stage, which is downloading our reverse shell. So what happens to our reverse shell? And boom. As you can see, we have a valid cred. We have a metasploit session. Okay, we background that. And next thing, let's wait for it. Okay. Let's wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. And looks like we have a problem with our batch script. Maybe something is wrong with this. We can't download our file. Okay. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look. Okay, so it's not actually downloading for us. All right. So what we're going to do now, okay, since I can't access Hacktricks, actually Hacktricks has that command. I'm going to go back to my previously written script here. So I'm going to take a look at this batch script. Okay. So it's going to do this. Okay, so this is the batch script I written that day. And let's copy this whole thing. Okay. Okay, looks like we don't have the brackets. So that's why we can't execute it. If you take a look here, the only difference here is we don't have a bracket here. And start process, file part, all good. Start process. Okay, we don't have a file part here. So let's edit that. If you go to Hacktricks, you have that command there. So no worries. You can go and take a look at that website. Since I can't access the website, I can't show you guys. So that is where I took this command. It's literally the same thing, just that we have some errors. So let's execute this again. Let's take a look whether it works now or not. Okay. Make this clear. Okay. Okay. Let's kill this session. Let's kill this first session. Okay. Options. Okay, I'm gonna run this. Okay, exit on session. I'm going to use it as false. So since once a session has established, our listener exits. So I don't want that to happen. So it has a listener listening at background even after we are having a session. Okay. So let's run our batch script. Okay. So I'm gonna go to our workshop, SMTP, and okay. Before that, guys, as you look at before, you took a look before, it shows that it prompts for a CMD process and shows whatever commands is going to happen. Okay. So how do we make it hidden so that it doesn't show what commands are executed in our CMD? So refresh, it gives you a payload. Okay, wait for a while. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's give a valid test. Okay, we are not going to waste a lot of time on that. Okay, refresh that. Valid creds hijacked. We should be looking at HT now. And we have a PowerShell Metasploit session. And now we should be getting a installer. Okay, we should be getting an installer. Wait, is there any problem with our script again? Okay, should. Okay, should. Our IP, our port is wrong. Okay, and our directory is wrong. Oh my god. Okay, let's just change this back. Downloads. Okay, downloads. Okay, and let's re-execute this. Okay, should be working. Robust.txt. Same process again. Let's give a valid cred after this. Okay, so after opening a Metasploit session 2, our listener will be still listening in the background. So we no need to go and manually open up a new listener after this as well. Okay, so payload executed. Okay, and we have a test. We are going to get a valid cred. As you can see here, HT is downloaded. And now our session is going to open a third session. If you take a look here, we are going to open up a third session. And now, if you see, it prompts for a proper download file, which is going to show that Call of Duty is being installed on your machine. So the user doesn't actually think that, oh, I have been hacked, but instead he thinks that his game is installed. That's all. And but then we have a shell in his system. Isn't it interesting, guys? Okay. Any questions so far? Oh, good. Okay. So finally, guys, I'm going to show you two things that are very interesting. The final part of this session. Okay. This part is going to be very interesting. So just bear with me for another 45 minutes to 1 hour. So I'll explain to you guys how this process happens and everything. Okay. It's really nice to see that all of you are interested in this session and you guys are actively participating. So yeah, let's carry on. Okay, for the next part, since now we have our PowerShell script, we have our stager.bat, okay, our batch script. We have our batch script, but we can't send this batch script our okay, which is our batch script? This is our one, right? Okay, so let's remove this, delete this. Okay, let's delete this as well. Is it the correct folder? Should be okay. So this is our batch script, correct or not? Okay. So what happened here is it downloaded all the files and executed on our machine. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we are going to convert this batch script into an exe file in order the victim will not be able to look at what is being executed in background. We don't want our victim to know that we are hacking them, correct or not? Okay. So what we're going to do now, you can go online. There's a very interesting tool called Bat to Exe. Okay. So Bat to Exe. So download this application. Okay, download this application, install it. Okay, and I have it in my machine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a directory here. I'm going to do a final exploit. Okay, final exploit. I'm going to copy my batch script, put it here, and next I need to have an ICO file. ICO is an icon file so that it looks like it's a valid Call of Duty file. Okay. So you guys will get to know what I'm talking about in a while. Let me show you first. Okay. So first of all, let's take Call of Duty icon file. How do we get it? Okay, just Google for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Okay. So do not worry if you don't get any ICO files or anything, even PNG files will do. Okay, so what we can do, we can just copy any of this PNG file. Okay, if we can see here, we have a great PNG file here. So copy this image link, save image as, okay, and it's a JPEG file. Okay, no worries, no problem. JPEG file will work, I guess. I haven't tried it on a JPEG file, but let's try, no problem. Hacking is all about trying new things. Okay, so let's say cod.jpg, cod.jpg. Okay, you don't need to have the extension as well. So COD. So what we're going to do, we're going to do Jpeg to ICO converter. We have to convert it to ICO file. Okay. So go to this any link you have, as long it can convert it to ICO. So choose file. Okay, choose file. If I'm going too fast, slow me down, guys. Okay. So Windows 8 cod.jpg. Okay, waiting, is uploading, and done, it's uploaded. Let's start this. No need to do any alteration. Okay, we are going to use it as it is, and it's processing. Let's give it some time. Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys can try it as well. Give it some time to download. So it's processing in our background. And here we go. We can download it. Okay, download this. And now as you can see here, we have an ICO file. Okay, show in folder. Copy this icon file. As you can see, this is the icon file. Copy this, go to workshop, go to here, go to your folder. Okay, make sure you have an icon file and a batch file in your folder. Okay, now what we're going to do is, okay, before that, everything okay, guys? If everything okay, we can go to the next step. All right, great. Okay, now what we're going to do, we are going to convert this batch file into an exe file. So how are we going to do that? Okay, let's close this here. Okay, final exploit. Okay, after downloading and installing Bat to exe, you will have this option here. Okay, so entering this, it will run that application. Okay, it will give you the screen. Okay, so it will give you the screen. Okay, so first of all, since I have run it before, it's going to ask for a source. Okay, so what you're going to do, I'm going to specify my source. It's going to source folder. So source folder is where you kept your batch file and also your ICO file. So if you go here, Windows 8, final exploit. So this is your folder where you have both of the files now. Okay. Okay. And now let's take a look here. Select target folder for the generated executable. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a folder inside that folder. We're going to put like output. Okay, so now we're going to select a folder where our output will be stored, which is our executable file, which is exe. Okay, so you go to output, okay, and done. It has written into that folder. If you come here, take a look at here, guys. Okay, if you view at the icon, okay, let me close this here. Okay, if you view at the icon, medium icons, it looks like a Call of Duty installer file. Okay, take a look here. It looks like a view Call of Duty installer file. Correct or not? Yeah. Okay, just that it looks very small. Okay, so since it's small, you can go and download a bigger file so that it fits for a bigger screen. Okay, so it looks like a what Call of Duty installer file. So let's say if we send this to a victim saying that, hey, we say cod bo3 okay .exe. Okay, if this goes to the victim, don't you think the person will click it and install it? It is very possible that the person will install this application. So when we execute it, okay, let's take a look here. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, this is our access here. Let's run this. Okay. And as you can see, our script is running in the background. And it successfully is being injected into memory. But the victim will not know that the person is actually getting hacked. Why? Because it looks like a legitimate installer file. It looks like a legitimate installer file. But the problem is, we are getting this prompt. So the person will think, oh, so I'm installing this Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So in order to perform this action, Windows needs my credential. So I'm going to enter my credential. Okay, my credential is going to be test password. As you can see, in your victim, boom, you get a valid cred. And another thing, good thing is, it downloads a proper installer file and also it injects a shell into the system, but the user doesn't know about it. But if you take a look here, Call of Duty is successfully installed on your machine. But at the same time, our payload is also installed on the machine. Isn't it interesting? Are we clear, guys, so far? Okay, great. Okay, so now we have a session. If we take a look at the session, we have all of this session. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill all of the session. Okay, so I'm going to kill all of the session because next thing, I'm going to show you something very interesting. Okay. So next thing, guys, okay, if you take a look here, we can modify the icon of any exe files. So why not we can inject any applications, maybe the icon of Excel, maybe the icon of PDF, maybe the icon of any application that looks legitimate. So the person will think, oh, it's an Excel file, let's click it, boom. But they executed an exe file. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, first thing first, guys, you need to realize something. In a default installation of Windows, if you have not enabled this option, so this will answer not taken or taken. It will take around like 30 minutes. Yeah, around 30 minutes. I'm going to finish the session in a while. But don't worry, Danish. There will be a recording provided. So if you have to rush for your college class, do so, no problem. Okay. So thanks for standing by. Okay. All right, no problem. Okay. So now, guys, as default, Windows system doesn't have you ticking this option called file name extensions. So as you can see here, we can see that this is a exe file. But in reality, most of the people will not enable that option. So what we can do, let's say if we inject, okay, let's say now what we can do, we are going to remove the COD icon. Okay, we are going to copy this. Okay, We are not going to delete this. Let's keep it here. Okay, let's keep it here so that later we can use it. Okay, remove this for a while. Okay, just imagine, guys. Just keep in mind that bad to exe, the bad to exe tends to reuse your icon and reuse your exe if you don't rename your batch file. So make sure you rename your batch file if you want to create a new executable. So now what we're going to do, let's say we are going to just think that whenever you're installing a game or anything, you might have a PDF instruction file or a notepad instruction file, correct? Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create an icon that looks like it's a PDF file. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do, let's search for Windows icons. Okay, GitHub. And as you can see here, we have this repository, and this is a great repository because we have all of the icons provided here. Let's go here, 128.128 apps. As you can see, we have some default apps and stuff. So we have to find for PDF. Okay, let's find for PDF here. Let's find for PDF. So since it's really hard to go through all directories, let's just git clone on our machine and we work our way from that. Okay. Okay, so git clone, it's gonna be https GitHub. Okay, since I can't copy paste into my VM, I'm not sure why it's not working. So boomerang dash artwork, okay, and Windows 10. Okay, so it's this, okay. My God. Let's see. Jetico and Windows artwork boomerang P00 or it is. Okay, you know what? Let's just open up in Firefox. Okay, you know what? It's going to take some time to search it and everything. So what we can do, I'm just introducing you guys to this repository. Take a look because multiple icons are here. Really nice. The icons are really good, but it's going to take a lot of time to search for the PDF. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look at PDF icon. Okay. And let's take a look at the images. Beautiful. We have PDF icons. So which one looks really interesting? Which one looks legitimate? This looks legitimate to me. Okay. So this looks legitimate to me because Adobe opens it and stuff. Okay. So maybe let's use this icon. Or maybe let's see. Maybe we can do PDF icon Adobe. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so let's see which one should we take? Which one should we take? Let's take this, okay? Okay, it's not really applicable. Let's take a look at this. Okay, give it some time. Okay, let's take this. It looks authentic to me. Okay, so let's save this file. Let's save this image. Save image as. Okay, and it's a JPEG image again. Okay, it's okay. Just download it. Let's say PDF. Okay, PDF and JPEG to ICO. Or maybe it's good. It's really nice for us to have PNG also. Let's try PNG this time. Save images. PNG image. Okay, cool. Okay, so download PNG. So what we're going to do? We're going to do PNG to ICO converter. Okay, so let's write PNG now. Okay, let's go to Cloud Convert, or maybe let's see which one works well for us. Convert Ico. We can use any website we want, no problem. So we go here. Okay, and I don't think it's working well for us. Okay, all right, so we go for Cloud Convert. Cloud Convert is a great website. Okay, so let's use this. Let's see what's our result. Okay, same process here. Same process here. Convert this, download it. Just wait for a while. And finish. Download it. And we have an ICO file. Okay. So let's take this ICO file now. Let's take this ICO file now. Okay, workshop. Done. Done. And final exploit. Output. Okay, so we have a COD BO3 here, right? So just leave it here. Just leave it there. We are going to use that as well. But before that, we are going to copy this here. Okay, we are going to copy this here. And now we are going to rename this file as instructions, maybe something different. Okay, instructions.bat or something. Instructions. Okay, we're going to do instructions. Let's use bat to exe again. Bat to exe. Okay, same thing here. But this time we have to specify the source. Do not continue from the source because it's going to specify the same directory. Okay, if you take a look here, okay, let's take a look here. It says source. Okay, final exploit. So our script and ICO file is inside this folder. So it's fine to continue from this folder. Okay, excuse me. So we can continue from this ICO file as well, and just wait for it. And boom, if you go to the output, we have a new file called instructions. Okay, if you take a look at the file extension, it's an exe file, correct? Extra large icons. It looks like a PDF file, but the problem is the image is very small, correct? So what we can do PDF icon large ICO. Okay, let's just use this. Okay, let's just download it. Let's just download it here. All right. Okay. Okay, so it's a PNG file, so we are not going to waste our time, yeah? But what I'm going to demonstrate now is, it looks like a PDF file here, correct? But the image is looking terrible here. So what you have to do is you have to create a PDF icon that looks like a PDF file, okay? So what we're going to do here, let's see here, content, and it looks like a PDF file. If you have any proper PDF icon, then you can download and do it. I'm just going to demonstrate the usability here, okay? So in here, if we have this icon set, file name extension is going to say .exe, but by default, it doesn't have exe. So people think that it's a PDF file and they can execute it. But what if a person has this enabled, file name extensions enabled? So there's an interesting thing we can do here. What we can do here is, it's called file extension spoofing. Okay. By doing this, what we can do is, we can inject left to right. Okay. Left to right UTF. Okay. You have to write UTF Unicode. Okay. Search for this. Okay. And you will come across many websites. Okay. Left to right. and you can copy this. Okay, copy this thing. Okay, once you copy this, you come here, rename this file. Let's say we say that read me before running. Okay, running, and then it's a PDF file, right? Okay, but for this extension spoofing to work, you have to specify PDF from the back. So it's gonna be FTP. Okay, and enter. So now what it's going to show is read me before running, and then it's going to be ftp.exe. But by copying that Unicode character, if we rename here and put our mark here, paste this in here. Okay, so it's not copied well. Let's copy back. Okay, copy this. Okay, so this website is not working well. Let's go to another website. Okay, give it some time. Left to right. Okay, let's go here, Unicode Explorer. And let's copy this. Okay, copy. And let's rename the file. Okay, I'm not sure why copying is not working. Okay, I can be sure that it's working here. Okay, let me check again, guys. Okay, copy this. Okay, let's rename and paste. Okay, something is wrong. Left to right mark. Okay, let's try another website. It should work, but let's see. File format.info. Sometimes when you're executing stuff, it doesn't work as you intended. Okay, so we have to keep on trying until we are getting any result. Okay, so copy. Okay, sorry. So it's left to right override. Okay, so I'm actually doing the wrong stuff. Left to right override. Okay, this is the character we want. So just take this, copy. Okay, so let's go here, this website. Okay, let's copy that Unicode character. It's left to right override. Okay, so this is right to left override. Left to right override Unicode. Okay, so let's copy this. So this is the website I copied earlier. So copy this. Okay, and now since we have already renamed it as FTP, if we paste it here, it's going to switch places with exe. And now it looks like read me before running exe.pdf. It sounds legitimate, right? Virtual block, click on devices, yeah, correct. Okay. So it looks legitimate to me now. It looks like read me before running exe.pdf. Okay, so let's read it. So by running it, we are actually running an exe file. But the problem is the person doesn't know that it's an exe file. They think that it's a PDF file. Same goes to any extension. So by doing a left to right override or right to left override, okay, I think this website just redirected to there. So left to right override, by doing it, we can just literally switch places with our extension spoofing. So now it looks like a PDF file. So what we're going to do, we're going to we are going to create a folder. Okay, let's create a folder here. Let's create a folder, zip folder. Okay, you know what? Let's delete this. Let's send to compressed folder. Okay. Okay, can't use it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. New folder. Let's move this here. Let's move this here. Okay, let's rename this to codbo3 installer.zip installer. Okay, so let's compress this. Let's try to compress this. It doesn't work. Okay, so compressor doesn't work in our Windows because we have used Unicode character, but we can use Linux to do our zip compressing. So what we can do, we copy this folder. Let's go to our Linux machine. Okay, this is the final part of our demo, guys. So we go here, codbo3 installer. Okay. Okay. And we go to the clone website. And here, downloads. Okay. So this is the original file. Correct? This is the original file. Okay. But the problem is now we are going to host our malicious payload, which is our stager. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy our codbo3 installer. Okay, I'm going to copy recursively. If not, it's not going to copy everything here. And as you can see here, Linux actually shows you what extension is that. Unicode doesn't work in Linux. That's why I recommend you guys use Linux, not Windows. Just kidding, guys. It depends. Okay. So now what we can do, we have two different exe files. Okay, we have two different exe files. But the thing is, we can send to the victim. We can send to the victim and increase our chance of them getting compromised. So let's zip it, and we have a zip file here. Okay, how are we going to deliver the zip file? This is where our GoFish comes in. So let's open up our GoFish. Okay, where's our GoFish? GoFish. All right, this is our phishing server. So now what we're going to do, we have to remember yesterday when we specified our stager, we specified straight away to our exe file. That is our installer file for our Call of Duty. But instead of sending our Call of Duty file, we are going to send a zip file now. Okay. So what are we going to do now? We are going to edit the index.html file. Okay. We are going to edit the index.html file. So this is the index.html file, right? So we're going to open up. Okay, we're going to close this first. Okay, we're going to open this up.